Well, welcome to Palmetto. This is going to be the site of our next houses. We plan to build 5 houses on this triangular piece of property. It sits right across from our warehouses here in Palmetto, and it's been a site that I've enjoyed seeing for quite a few years and always wanting to build something on it. So that's finally coming true as we head into 2021 now. So during the Christmas holidays, we got our permit from the city of Palmetto, and we've been scraping the property off. You can see the dirt moved here. We've got to get the organics off. You have to strip the grass off underneath the house area. So that's been all done. We've got it piled up over there. Now we've brought in fresh dirt. That's what all this is. We're going to build a pad. The pad is what the slab of concrete will sit on so that we can build the house. And we have to build that up about 19 inches from the center of the road. That's so that in the event of severe storms and that, we keep our house safe. So you can see here that this was the original height of the ground in this area, and we've got our stake in. This is the corner of our porch and the house behind it, and you'll see over time now that we've scraped below it to get the grass and that off of it, all that organic material off. And now we've got the dirt. We'll start building the pad, and you'll see it start to rise above this area. Well, it's been a week, and as you can see, we now have the dirt all leveled, and we've got the pad down. And today we broke ground on starting to dig the trenches. The lumber that you see laying out are the form boards. We're going to be putting those in this week. And in our next update, you'll be able to see all the form boards in place. We may even have some plumbing already done, so we're moving right along. Well, welcome back. I can take this off because I'm socially distanced from our crews working today, but this is the 3rd week now, and we are working on the rough end of the plumbing. As you can see, since last week, we got the form board set up, and that determines the size of our house. We've got the plumbers here today. They're putting in the piping in that under the slab, and this coming week when they get done, we will level the pad off again, and we'll start digging our footings to depth. So next week, come join us and we'll show you that part. Well, good morning again. It's the 4th week of our construction now, and as you can see, things have changed again. This past week, we had the plumbers come in. You see all the red and blue pipe and the white plastic sewer pipes. We're trying a new plumbing system on this house. It's called PEX, and it runs individual hot and cold water lines to the fixtures. That's going to help us with a green build initiative to allow that within a half gallon of water, you have hot water at every faucet within the house. And so by using this PEX, it's a direct line to that fixture as opposed to going through the rest of the house. So we're excited about trying this new plumbing process. They did all the digging to put that in. We buried it over the week. We've recompacted the foundation now, and right now they're digging the footers to depth. Later on this week, we're going to cover it in plastic, and next Monday we're going to pour concrete. So more than likely at our next filming, you will see a concrete slab. That's what we're hoping for.
Fantastic. One question. What is dig to depth? What does that mean?
Well, we have to dig to 20 inches below the ground surface for these houses. We have to have a 20 inch footer for these houses. So digging to depth means that we dig down those 20 inches, and we have forms that we use to set that depth so that we can check. You have to have a specific profile of an angled slope and then down into the trench for the footer. In that footer, we will lay 2 rows of rebar, which is being cut over here right now, and then we'll do a vertical rod that'll have a 3rd rail of rebar that goes all the way around. So within the footer, there'll be 3 horizontal runs of rebar to strengthen that sidewall. This is what they call a monolithic pour, meaning that it's all in one. The footer and the slab is all one piece of concrete. And the nice thing about that is, in sandy soil like we have here in Florida, if there is any ground settling, the whole house goes with it. You don't have the separation of a sidewall footer and a slab. That would really have an effect on the house. Whereas with the monopore, if there's any settling, the house just goes with it and it continues to work well.
Perfect. Thanks, Bruce. We'll see you next week.
All right. Well, good morning again. It's week 5 and we're back here in Palmetto. You can see behind me quite a bit has changed since last week. Last week we still had dirt. Yesterday, last Thursday they put the rebar and that into the footers, got it ready. We got an inspection done by the city, and yesterday being Monday, we poured the slab. So the slab now is down, and you can see the ICF block. Concrete insulated forms are being put in, and this will continue through the week. So next week, when we meet again, you ought to see more walls up, and you'll see the openings that we call the bucks for the windows and the doors. So come back next week. So where have you been? We've gotten an awful lot done this week. As you can see behind me, we've got the walls up already. Last week, we just had a foundation. We had the slab down. This week, on week 6, we now have walls already. So work is progressing well. You can see the window bucks are in. That's the wood that's around where the windows and doors are going to go. We're up to 6 blocks high, which is the height of our home at 8 feet, and things are going really well. So the work plan is to finish these walls this week. This coming Monday, we're going to pour the walls. That's 6 inches of concrete all the way around. And next Tuesday, we'll be getting trusses in. So a lot's going on here. Come be a part of it. We've got a lot of work going on. Thanks. Well, welcome back to week 7 of our build here in Palmetto. I want to talk a little bit about ICF block, which is insulated concrete forms. That's what you saw last week. We were building the walls, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about what this new construction's like. It's been around about 20 years, but that's relatively new to home construction. This happens to be a corner block, and then there are straight blocks. Interesting thing about this is that this is the equivalent of 9 concrete blocks, and I can hold it in one hand. I can't hold 9 concrete blocks, that's for sure. It's unique in that it has its own insulation. It's 2.5 inches of styrofoam, making 5 inches of styrofoam. That makes an R21 insulation value for the walls. That's higher than what you'd normally get in concrete block construction or even in wood construction. It's unique in that it has spacers in between. That creates a space, and we pour this with concrete. So not only is it styrofoam on the outside, but there's 6 inches of solid concrete. These little dividers hold the rebar. The rebar is like metal rods, and they're at the first, the middle, and the top blocks, which forms a band around the house, a horizontal band. And then vertically, every 48 inches, we have vertical rebar. So it creates a grid within this block that the concrete pours. That's what makes it so strong. We build to 150 mile per hour wind speeds here in Palmetto, but these blocks are capable of 240 mile per hour. So we've got great protection for our families. The other thing that it does is within each block, that divider creates what we call a furring strip. And this furring strip, which is a 1/2 inch under the styrofoam, is where we're going to be screwing the siding, and on the inside where we screw the drywall. So this block creates the entire wall and makes it real easy to do our finish work on it. So yesterday we poured the concrete in, and that's why you see the metal up on top. That's what our trusses are going to be wrapped in. You set the truss and you wrap that completely around the top of the truss to hold it into this concrete that's within these blocks. And our trusses just arrived a few minutes ago. Had you been here a couple minutes ago, you could have saw them unloaded. So we're going to be working this week on setting trusses. We're going to be building the walls for the back storage building. We're going to be working on the front porch. So hopefully when you come back by next week, we'll be able to show you how that work is going. Thanks. Well, good morning again. This is week 8, and as you can see behind me, we've been moving right along. Last week when you were here, we had just gotten the trusses. Now the trusses are already up on the roof, and you'll notice the style of roof for this house. This is called a hip roof, meaning that it has sloping angles to it. You can see the plane of the roof, how instead of at this end having a gable end which goes straight up, you have a sloping which is a hip roof. That's much safer, and that's why we build it that way. It's safer from the standpoint of wind. Wind pushing against the flat surface of a gabled in house can push those trusses over. When you've got a hip roof, the wind shears off of the roof, so it's a safer roof. That will help you with insurance also. Some companies will offer up to 15% discount on homeowners insurance if you have an all-hipped roof. Problem is one little gable on a house and you get no discount. So this house is all gabled roof, and that allows our homeowners to take advantage of any discounts that are offered from homeowners insurance. Now, these trusses are held down by straps. So you can see, you'll see metal straps that go over the top of the truss, and that is cast in the concrete of the wall, comes up and goes over and is nailed all the way around. That holds the truss down. When you're up north and you have a lot of snow, you're concerned about weight, dead weight, the weight of snow on the roof. When you're in the south, you're worried about tornadoes and hurricanes have uplift. The wind comes and picks the roof up and takes it off the house. So we strap it down to hold that roof onto the house. A lot of people will say in a tornado you open all your windows so the wind goes through. In a hurricane, you don't want that. You want all of your windows closed. You want it as tight as possible. You want the wind pushing against your house to have to just go around the house, not through the house. Any penetrations, particularly garage doors that get blown in and wind gets in, will lift that roof off of the house, and that's why you have so much roof damage during hurricanes. In addition to the other work, we're also building the exterior storage on this house. We build it out of wood. It's somewhat of a cost savings to do it that way, but it's outside of the house. It's a completely room of its own, not part of the house. We do continue the roof over it, and it gets strapped down with these, they call them H10s, so that will provide that holding force for the roof. So this is just about done. It's a great place to store your lawnmower, gasoline cans, stuff like that. You got to have it outside of the house. So this provides that area. And we're also finishing up on doing the fascia work. This fascia is the face of the side of the roof. And so with that fascia done, come back next week and we're going to be working on doing the sheeting of the roof, putting that plywood particle board onto the roof, and you'll see the roof start taking shape. So come back and we'll show you that next week. So we've also been working at other locations. Now that we've got the trusses up, we're working on the front porch. And so you see the posts that we have here. These are 6x6 posts. We custom cut them. One of our volunteers does that for us. Gives it a little decorative look. But you can see that it's well bolted at the bottom and it's through bolted at the top of these posts. Then we build a box beam, and what that means is we're using 2x12 lumber on both sides of the post, and then we put a 2x4 in between, and we nail that every 4 inches all along the side of the beam, and that creates a box, and that's very strong, and that's what holds our porch up. We will set trusses now on this porch and up the roof. We need a roof over. So we put our roof decking material down, and then we build the porch over the top of it. What that does is that basically means that the porch could blow away without having any damage to the house, because we've created a continuous roof area for the house. A lot of houses would be built without that roof over. You would put these up and then just plywood or deck the material coming out on the porch. We deck the house, then we build the porch on top of it. Well, good morning. It's the 9th week, and as you can see, we continue to make progress. This week we've gotten the exterior storage shed pretty well all sheeted on the outside. We're working on finishing the trusses on it, and we'll be decking the roof. Over here you can see that we've started putting roof decking down, and we're going to put a run all the way around the roof, single row, and then we're going to put up what we call a hug system. And the hug system is what I call our playpen. It provides protection for the people working on the roof, and we'll show you more about that next week. So here on the front porch, last week we were putting up the posts and beams, and this week what we're doing is we're starting to set the trusses over the porch. So you can see that work being done. Now what will happen is we will deck the roof with plywood so that it's straight across, and then this set of trusses will go on top of that roof sheeting. That's called a deck over roof, and the reason we do that is for 2 reasons. One is it's safer because we've got the box of the house completely covered in decking, and when we use spray foam, we're only spraying over the living area of the house. We're not going to be spraying over the front porch. We don't need to worry about that area. So you'll see that next week. We'll show you that there's roof decking underneath this truss set that we have here. And so come on back. We've got a lot more to show you. So we're back outside again, and I just wanted to show you real quick. We got our windows and our doors all done, getting ready to do siding on the house. We use what they call a hardy plank siding. It's a concrete material. Holds up to weather extremely well, has no problems being out in the Florida sun. We paint it Paint lasts about 15 years on it. It doesn't blister like wood does, and so it's quite sustainable. But I wanted to show you the windows here. We've got the windows dried in. And what that does is we put a flex wrap down in the bottom of the seal. That's to allow water to drain out. We put our windows in, and then we put a sealant around that window open, sealing the window to the wall, and then we will be putting the hardened siding over it. So we're just getting started on siding. That'll take probably 3-4 weeks to complete entirely. But they're laying out the lines for the siding right now. They put on the blocks that we use for running electrical outlets and water hose bib connections to the house. And probably later today or our next work period we'll actually start doing the siding. So come back next week. We got a lot to show you. You'll be able to see a lot of walls standing inside the house. You'll be able to see the siding coming along, and our roof should all be complete. So it's coming together here. We'll see you next week. Well, welcome back. I believe we're on week 10. And we're moving right along, getting a lot of work done. As you can see from last week to this week, we've now started decking the roof. You can see all the red paneling up there. That's called zip material that has a rubber coating on the top side. That's what you're looking at, and that's a secondary roof. So that if we were to lose our metal panels off of the roof, that rubberized coating would prevent any water from being able to get into the house. It's really a great product. It's been around about 12 years now, but we've been using it for quite a while. It works really well. Also, you can see that we've put up the hug system. That's HUGG, hugs. I call that the playpen. It prevents our volunteers from being able to slide off of the roof. So it's a really nice safety barrier for us while we're doing our roof sheeting and then also putting our metal roof on. So if you follow me, we'll go around to the front of the house. Okay, we made it around to the front of the house, and you can see that our trusses now are going over the front porch. We talked about that last week, how we would put the sheeting down on the roof, and you can see not too well here, but there's red board underneath all of those roof trusses, and then now we're decking sheeting on top of the trusses. So we make the shell of the house, the actual outside walls of the house, protected by all roof material, and then the porch is just an area that could be considered like a blowaway. If a bad storm came and we happened to lose the roof, we would still have the integrity of the house. So we'll be continuing that through the week. So let's go inside and take a look. Okay, so we're inside the house and we're getting ready to start the interior walls. We've been doing blocking. It's cross blocking of the trusses. It's this ladder work of 2x4s that we put between the trusses. And by doing that, when we build our walls, which are now chalked out on the floor, that gives us an area to fasten our walls to the top of the ceiling. And this morning we got our delivery of plate material. Plates are the top and bottom of the walls, and we'll be marking those for the 2x4 stud positions. And over in the far corner, we got our hardy siding in. So we're going to be starting to do our siding work in the coming week. So as I said, we're moving right along. One thing more that I'll show you is just that we showed you the PEX plumbing system that we were using on this house, and now you can see it poured in concrete, and we've sprayed it off with orange and red paint so that they're not tripping points in the house. But this is a great new system that we're trying, and we'll show you that as we continue to build, how that builds out in the house. So come back next week. We got a lot of work going on, and we'll show you a little bit more about the build on the house. Thanks. Well, good morning again. We're back at Habitat here in Palmetto, and our work is continuing on week 11 of our work. As you can see behind me, we've kind of finished the front porch. We've got it decked. We've got our HUD safety system up, and they're finishing off the decking on the roof. That should be done later this week. We'll get metal roofing ordered. It'll take a couple of weeks, and then we'll start putting the metal roof on. So let's go inside and see what else is going on. So here we are inside the house, and as you can see, it's becoming quite busy inside. These are the plates that are laid out on the floor. That's the top and bottom of the wall, and in between that is going to be what we call the studs, which are the vertical supports for the walls. So we'll start building those walls. They get all nailed together. This is a great time for volunteers because you get to swing a hammer and actually see stuff come together rather quickly. Well, welcome back. It's week 13, and you can see that we're continuing to work here in Palmetto. We're continuing to wear masks and social distance and try to keep our crew safe. Fortunately, majority of our crew have been vaccinated now, so it's getting much better, and soon we'll be able to get back to working 3 days a week. But for right now, we're getting plenty of work done. As you can see from last week, we've taped off the seams of the roof. The black tape, the striping on the roof is tapes that tapes the seam, and that allows it to become a secondary roof. No water now will penetrate into the interior of the home. So let's go inside and we'll take a look at what they've been doing inside. So we're now on the inside, and you can see behind me all the 2x4s that have been built. So we now have the rooms all dimensioned. These are 2 bedrooms over here, a bathroom. We have a kitchen in the middle, and we have a nice pantry off of the kitchen, and then we have the master bedroom and master bathroom on the side. This is a nice split floor plan where the master's on one side, the other bedrooms are on the other of the living area, and has a really nice kitchen layout that you'll get to see in coming weeks. So let's go outside and we'll take a look at the siding work that's being done. We kind of showed you the start of it last week, and we'll see the progress that's been made. All right, we're in the back of the house now, and you can see the crew has been working on getting the siding up. They finished running all the starter strip, all the corners and everything last week, and just started putting up siding. So this is hardy siding, the concrete siding that I talked about before. It holds paint really well, and in the coming weeks we have a special company coming. They're going to donate a spray painting job on this house, so we'll get to see the results of that in coming weeks. But this being week 13, this means that we've been working 3 months. We're right in the middle of our 6-month schedule, so we're right on schedule. The idea is to have the shell of the house closed in so that work can continue. Now, starting tomorrow, we're going to start doing plumbing, the electrical rough-in, and the HVAC rough-in. We'll show you that next week. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. We're here this morning checking on the progress that we've made last week. It's now week 15, and things are still moving along. They're working on siding across the front of the house, just about finished with it. We have one more side to get done. We hope to be working on that today and finishing up on Thursday. Next Monday, we have a company coming in to paint the house, so we need to get our siding done. And next week when you come by, we should have our siding all painted. So that's what's happening here on the outside and front. Let's go through the house inside and then we'll go out the back. So in the house, inside the house this week, it's kind of quiet. We've been working with the subs who've been doing the electrical and the plumbing work. Plumbing has passed inspection. Electricians are waiting on the HVAC people to put the air conditioning and heating in. That's going to be starting tomorrow. So hopefully by next week we'll have that done. Electricians will be in next Tuesday then to finish their work, and we'll have our subcontractor work done. With those inspections passed, then we move on to spray foam insulation that'll be going on the ceiling in here. And we'll show you that as we get to it. So right now, about the other thing going on is we're putting in running data cable and TV cable within the house today. And so outside and back, you can see that we've started putting down the metal roofing. The guys have been did a little bit of work last Thursday. They got started this morning, and you can see that they've got the vent in for the kitchen and also for the sewer vent. So we're moving right along. We'll get more roofing done today, more Thursday, and this will be about a 3-week project, and then we'll have the roof all taken care of. So come back next week. Hopefully you're going to see a painted house. You're going to see some more roofing down. Our HVAC will be all installed, and we should be in pretty good shape as we're moving into starting to get towards the finish of the home. So see you then. Well, it's good to have you back with us. It's week 16, and as I've been talking about in the recent clips, today is kind of a special day. We're painting the house today. We've got a company called SprayNet. Michael and his crew is here working with us, and they're donating this spray job with us today. So you can see we finished our siding. Our hardy siding is all up. That's a concrete fiber board that resists the weather that we have here in Florida, and with the SprayNet special process should last for years. We're talking 15-20 years on this paint job, which will be great for our families. House painting is expensive. Doing it yourself is a lot of work. Being able to have a finish that's going to hold up to this Florida weather is going to make a big difference for our homeowner here. So we're really happy to have them here. You can see all the work that they're doing in prepping. They've got to tape the doors and tape all the hardware and everything, and they're going to be starting to spray this house in a couple of minutes. So we'll show you in future weeks what the finished product looks like, but for now we're just happy to have them with us today. Thanks. Well, welcome back. We're here in Palmetto today, and you can see that we've got some things that have gotten done. It's week 17 now, and you can see that across the back most of the roof has been done. We're still working on some of the other sides of the roof, and we still have to cap it, but there's been progress in getting the roof on. All the siding is done on the house, and inside we're still doing mechanical work. So the plumbing, air conditioning, and the electrical work is just wrapping up, and this week we'll be getting inspections, and then we're going to be going on to drywall. Once that's done, that allows us to then finish the inside. So lots of progress. Things are going well. For those of you who may have come into the middle of this, I just want to explain who we are and what we do. I'm Bruce Winter, Director of Construction for Manatee County Habitat for Humanity. Manatee County is on the west coast of Florida, and as you can see, we've got some beautiful weather today to be working. We build homes in compliance with Zero Energy Ready. It's a Department of Energy certification program, and that allows us to build a home that is very energy efficient and sustainable. What that does for our families is you can build really cheap houses, but it's not about the initial cost of the house. It's about living in the house on a monthly basis and making it affordable for our homeowners. So by building with these energy efficient savings, it really helps our families. We're talking utility bills for this size house that would normally be $120 to $140. Some people have seen $40 bills, up to about $65, $70, depending upon how many people are in the family and how long they're home for. So that makes a big difference for our affordable homeowners that we serve. If you have any questions, I've talked about some of the items that we use, such as the hardy siding, the metal roof. We're going to use spray foam insulation on the underside of the roof. We use ICF blocks. This is our 37th home that we've built with ICF blocks. So if you have any questions on any of those, you're welcome to contact me. My email address is bwinter, that's BWINTER, at Manatee, MANATEE, Habitat, HABITAT.org. So drop me a line, tell me if you're enjoying this process of seeing the whole house being built, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them for you. Thanks a lot. Well, good morning. It's the 18th week of our build here in Palmetto, and things are going along pretty well. As you can see, the house is now blue. We got our painting done, and they're working on painting the beams on the front porch, the contrasting colors. We typically use a 3-color paint system on our homes, and so that's being completed now. Lots of work being done behind me. We're working on our soffit and fascia. All the siding's done, but the soffit and fascia work is continuing, and lots of work being done up on the roof. Got a good volunteer force here today, and they're getting a lot done. We're starting to change our COVID protocol a little bit. Recent CDC says that if you're outdoors, we can not wear a mask. Some of us still continue to do that. Others feel comfortable enough not. Indoors, however, we're still all wearing masks. That's going to be a requirement. We're following strict CDC guidelines. So we're going to be able to add more people into our bubble in the coming weeks. And we'll be getting another house started hopefully within a few weeks. But work here continues to progress, and inside all of the electrical rough-in, plumbing rough-in, and HVAC rough-in has all been done. It's passed inspections. We're waiting for a framing inspection tomorrow. That will allow us to move on to well, we don't want to hold up work. What you just heard is a special metal cutting saw. It doesn't throw any particles back on you. It's an enclosed system that we use for the safety of our volunteers. So it's throwing no metal shrapnel or pieces of metal back on you. It's all contained. Anyway, inside we're going to be ready for insulation this coming week. We'll see how that goes, and stay tuned. Come back and see us next week on the 19th, and we'll see how things are going. Thanks. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. This is week 19, and we're continuing to finish the roof. Actually, today's our last day on the roof. They just finished the ridge caps across the top. And so we're now final on our roof. Siding has also been going well. They have trimmed out the front porch, and we're just about done with the exterior of the home as far as the home itself is concerned. In coming weeks, we'll be getting the concrete contractor back. We've got to get the driveways in, and we'll be doing sod and landscaping. We'll be showing you that in the future. Inside, we've passed all the inspections. We're waiting for our spray foam to be done on the underside of the roof. That is scheduled for this coming Monday. Hopefully we can show you that next week. And then we'll move on to drywall. So we're in good shape on the outside, starting to run a little bit behind on the inside, but we should be able to catch that up so that we can finish this house by the end of June. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next week. Well, good morning again. It's another beautiful Tuesday morning here in Palmetto. We're back working on our house again, and you can see behind me the work that's going on. We're putting up the fascia today. You can see this white metal that is going on in the front right under the roof. You can see the little corner over there where the wood is still showing. So that finishes off the side of the house, and that's the soffit underneath and the fascia on the side that we're just finishing up. That'll complete the outside of the house for us. Inside, we're still waiting on insulation to come. They were supposed to have been here last Friday. They didn't make it, so they were supposed to come again today. That's holding us up a little bit on getting our drywall done. Our drywall has been delivered. We're looking forward to getting that process started. That really finishes the middle portion of our build, I'm going to say, and as soon as that drywall is done, we'll move into the final third stage of construction, which is our finish room. And so we've got 6 weeks left to get this house done. We've still got time to finish it, but we got to keep moving. With that in mind, we've got to get another house started here soon. So if you can just look out here in the field, you'll see that we've put up some black fencing. That's silt fence. That's so that when we start removing the organics, which is all the grass and weeds and that, we strip that off. And when we do that, then we're down to raw soil, and that can erode. And you've got to prevent that from running off of your property and plugging up storm drains and getting into your neighbor's yard. So we put up this silt fence around the perimeter of the property that will prevent that. And what you'll see in the coming weeks is we'll scrape the organics off. We'll bring in fill to start building another pad, just like we did on this house, and we'll get started on another house. So we're excited about finally being able to get another house started. It took us a little while to get some plans. This is going to be a new house. This is going to be a 1-bedroom, 1-bath house, something that we haven't built before, but we're seeing more and more of a need for properly sized houses. I call them right fit houses, to where if you're just a single person or a single person with one child, you may not need a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom house. We can put you in a right-sized house to meet your needs better. So this is the start of that new program, and looking forward to developing that next week. We got more to show you. We'll be done with the outside. We'll be starting to finish off the inside. Thanks. Well, good morning again. It's another Tuesday here in Palmetto, and we've gotten a little bit of work done this week. We'll give you a brief tour as to what's going on. You can see that the outside of the house now is all complete. The soffit and the fascia is all up. We've got everything painted, and we're in really nice shape for the outside of the house. In addition, you can see that we're down to dirt here. We started scraping the yard, getting ready to sod and run concrete. And over here behind us, we've started scraping this area, which is where the parking pad is going to go for the house. So we're getting ready to get that concrete work done. There'll be a parking pad for 2 cars and a sidewalk coming up to the porch. We'll get that going so we can finish the yard. Inside, they're supposed to be coming today actually to hang the drywall in the house. You can see it's still stacked here. We're starting to run a little behind. We're probably about 3 weeks behind now on the interior. That was due to part equipment availability for the HVAC system. Everything falls in sequence, and you have to go through a series of inspections, which dictates the timeline on construction of a house. And it just so happens that you can't do too much until you get the final and rough-in inspection on the HVAC. So that has held us up, but we've got the spray foam now, insulation all done, and we are ready for drywall. We'll get that done. We should be able to show you next week what that looks like with it all hung. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. It's another Tuesday, and we're back working on the house here at 1020 3rd Avenue West. As you can see behind me, we've done some more yard work. We've taken some signs down, put them up on the porch and that, so that we could scrape off the rest of the organic, all the grass and weeds and that have all been cleared off. That's in preparation for being able to do sod. And first we will rake this in, we'll establish some drainage areas, and then we'll be sodding. And then behind us is where we're going to be putting the driveway. We're going to start that work on Thursday. We've got to form it up. Next week we'll be pouring the pad where we'll be parking the cars for this house. So work is continuing outside. Let's go inside and see all the changes that have taken place. So wow, what a difference, huh? We've got drywall all up. It's all been filled and sanded, ready for texture. They're going to be here in a few minutes today, and they'll be spraying the texture. We do an orange peel texture on the walls. We do knock down on the ceiling. Gives us a little different look between ceiling and walls. The orange peel is a lot easier to clean up. But what the guys are working on here today is some of the green build initiative work that we do. So around every outlet box and around all of the ceiling vents and that, we caulk that so that there's no air leak between the house and going into the attic. Now our attic is semi-conditioned space already, but we still try to prevent as little air movement between the actual living space and that semi-conditioned air upstairs. So they're working on that today. They're also sealing around all the window and door openings with caulk. and that'll get us ready with that, and the texture will be ready to paint. So next week we'll get started on painting the house inside, and then the following, that Saturday, we'll start putting down tile floor. We'll start doing the finish work on the house. So things are moving along here. Our house in back, not much has gone on this past week. We're waiting for our permit to come in, so we'll show you more as that progresses in the future. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next week. Welcome back to Palmetto. It's a beautiful sunny day here in June. It's our 22nd week of work, and we've gotten a little bit done since you were last with us. As you can see, we've formed the driveway and the sidewalk in preparation for a concrete pour. We've raked out our yard, getting it ready for sod, and we've been doing a lot of work on the outside in preparation for finishing the outside of the yard. Inside today has been a busy day. We've been painting, so come on inside and we'll show you what's going on. We've got all the walls now primed. One of our volunteers, Kent, has been busy painting today. We have sprayed all of the interior walls in a coat of primer. We got 2 coats of ceiling paint on the ceilings and got a lot of work done today. So on Thursday we'll be starting to do wall cut-in of the color coat. It's an off-white kind of a tan color. I call it Habitat beige. But we'll be painting the walls. We like to brush cut in and then roll the walls. It gives us a little nicer coating than spraying the walls. But the sprayer works great for getting a good coat of primer on and getting our ceilings done all in one morning. So the crew has been busy working on that all day, and let's head out through the back door. We had been preparing our paint, getting it mixed, and being sure that the buckets stay full as we're spraying in that. So we're right in the midst of the cleanup right now. So that gets us painted on the 22nd week of our build. What we'll be doing, as I said, Thursday is painting. Saturday we're going to lay tile. And so next Tuesday we ought to be able to grout that tile. We'll be able to start our vinyl floor. It's a click-lock system, and 2 weeks from today we'll be getting our kitchen cabinets. So we'll be starting our finish work. So come back next week and join us, and we'll show you how much we've gotten done. Thanks for being with us. I believe it's the 23rd week, and things are still going well. We got a wet one today. It's been raining early this morning. We used to always joke that it never rained on Habitat, usually because we have afternoon showers. But today is a little bit different. We're wet today, which is probably a good thing, because I'm going to talk to you today about connections of water and sewer to the house. So yesterday our plumbers were here and they ditched, and we've got our sewer line now attached up to the house, and that's connected. And I'll take you over here and we will show you the water line. So follow me. That was always a big joke in Sarasota. Yeah. Okay, here's the water line. We've got our meter box here, and you can see that it's been trenched. We got the water line up, connected to the house, and you can see from the valve there that the water is onto the house. Inspector was here earlier this morning, and we've passed the inspection on the water and sewer connection. So we're in good shape on that. Come Thursday, hopefully this mud will dry up. We'll backfill the trenches and tamp them down and get ready for sod. We're hoping to be able to lay sod this coming Saturday with volunteers. That's it for the outside. This past Saturday we laid tile. So we have our kitchen and our utility room all in tile. In addition, we've got the 2 bathrooms now done in tile. So that's coming along. We'll be grouting it this weekend. And then Kathy and Dale and Evelyn, our volunteers, are starting to do vinyl floor today. So that'll be ongoing for about a week and a half to get the floor down. So we're moving along pretty well. We'll continue to do this. When we get the floor down, then we can put our doors in, run our baseboard, and kind of wrap things up. Next Tuesday, we have our cabinets and countertops coming. So that'll be an exciting time. We'll be able to start putting our kitchen together. So come back next week. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. This is week 25. We're getting really close here. Our work continues here on the house. As you can see, we haven't poured our slab yet. We did a little more grading work. We established the swell for the water runoff from this lot. And within the coming week, we hope to get our driveway and sidewalks poured. So follow me inside. This is where the real work's being done. The house now, and you can see a lot of work is going on. There's a lot of noise going on. When you put down the floor, you can see a little bit of it. It's a gray solid vinyl floor, completely impervious to water. But the hard surface is what helps our family. So there's no carpeting in the home. Everything's either solid vinyl or in the wet areas of the bathroom and the kitchen, we have tile floor. That solid flooring makes it a lot easier to clean, cuts down on any mold, and helps our family with the air quality within the home. So you can take a look over here. This is the master bedroom. You get a better idea as to what the floor looks like, and our crew is working on putting this floor down at this time. The other thing that's happened today is we have kitchen cabinets and countertops. So our crews are busy working on getting started on installing the cabinets, and that'll be ongoing through the week. So lots of work being done. Let's just go out back real quick and we'll see.
So what we're going to do is take these off.
We'll see that we're ready for sod. Sod should be coming on this Saturday. We've got a group of people coming to help us with that. And next week, this should look a lot different. So come back next week. I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. This is week 26, and I told you at the beginning of all of this that it took 26 weeks to build a house. Well, not necessarily all the time. We've had some delays due to material shortages that we're experiencing right now, especially in the HVAC, that cost us several weeks. So we're close. We're about 2-3 weeks away from being able to finish the house, but a lot of changes have taken place this week. Part of what you can see here is we put down sod on Saturday. So we've got sod on the property line over there. We're still waiting on concrete. That's one of the problems right now. There's a shortage of. But over here you can see also that we've got the sod down. We've got a well made here that a tree will go in. That'll be in about a week and a half. So follow me inside, and as we go inside, let's take a look at the shell that we have around the house. Part of Green Build Initiative is that if you put a shell barrier of at least 2 feet around the foundation of your house, it prevents termites from entering. Termites will not cross an area greater than 2 feet without a food source. So as long as you keep it shell, keep the weeds pulled out, it's going to really cut down on the possibility of getting termites into your house. Now, our houses are made out of styrofoam and concrete, but we do have wood inside, plus there's wood in your furniture. So here in Florida, where we have a big termite problem, this is a good idea to keep that barrier around the house. So follow me inside and we'll take a look at what's going on. We have finished our flooring, although you can't see it real well because we cover it. These are large vinyl wallpaper that we use to cover our floors, protect them while we're still building. In the kitchen, you'll see that we've started with cabinets. We've got some of the upper cabinets already hung. We're still working on lower cabinets, and we'll be getting countertops later on. So work's progressing in the kitchen. That's all going well. We'll move over here to the master bedroom. And you'll see that we're starting to get some doors finally. So that's a big move later on today. We plan to put the pocket door in. This is into a walk-in closet. And we'll go to the other side. Where work continues on putting up ceiling fans. We got Stan in here working on fans. We've got more closet doors, and if you can see into the bathroom, we have our bathroom cabinets all set. So work's progressing along. We'll get the rest of these doors in this week. Some painting, lots of painting going on. We're about 3 weeks away from finishing. So come back next week. We'll show you what's going on at that time, and really look forward to seeing you then. Thanks. Well, good morning. Welcome back to Palmetto. You can kind of see it's kind of a gray overcast day with a little bit of misting rain. We've got a little tropical storm, possibly a small hurricane headed our way, but we're here working today. That's just the way it is in Florida. What I want to show you today is we're continuing with getting ready to pour our driveway. Next Tuesday when you come back, we should be actually pouring it, but for right now, you can see it's all formed, and last week we had to cut out the existing sidewalk and up to the curb for the road. That's because to the property line we have to have 6 inches of concrete, and then once past the property line it changes to 4 inches of concrete. So that heavy area out front on the apron, we had to cut out the existing sidewalk so we could pour a little more concrete. But inside, a lot of work's been going on, so follow me inside and we'll take a look at what's been going on. So inside you can see a lot of activity going on. You can see that most of the cabinets are all done. Today we're putting on the pull knobs. Pull knobs are actually handles on these cabinets. We use handles instead of a knob that you pull, we use a handle. And that's part of our universal design of these homes. As we get older, or if we have any issues with health or handicap, you can't pull on a knob. But there are many ways that you can hook a handle to pull it open. So we spend the extra money to use the handles that we have for these cabinets.
Okay, I'm gonna get shot back and clean this up.
And we have to, and that way you can hook it with a single finger, you can hook it with a pen in your mouth. There's all different types of devices that will allow a person to open a cabinet door using a handle as opposed to just a pull. So you can see that the work continues on the kitchen. Tomorrow we get the plumber in, he'll be putting in the sinks and hot water heater, and that'll all be done with work tomorrow. That'll allow our electrician to come back. We'll finish up our electrical work, get some power to the house in the coming week, and we'll be moving right along. In here you can see that we've got painting going on. Bob's down there working with his paintbrush, his favorite thing to do. And over here in this room, they're hanging a pocket door on the closet. So quite a bit of work going on for a pretty rainy day. So we'll go out the back door here. And I just want to say thanks for coming by. We're a little bit past our 26 weeks. Due to some material shortages, a change in our schedule, change in future work, so we're able to take it a little slower, which is just fine at this time of year, as it typically is very hot. But anyway, look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll see what we got done. Thanks for coming. Bye. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. It's another Tuesday morning, and I've lost track of what week this is. I believe it's week 27. We've run a little bit longer than our 26 weeks that we normally build at due to some problems that we've had with suppliers getting materials and that. But we're underway. We're still getting the work done. As you can see, we finally got our driveway poured. I told you last week that we'd be pouring that, and that work is done. Really a great job. It really makes the house look a lot different once we get a driveway in. The other thing we've done since you've been gone is we've got our landscaping all done on the house. We did that last Saturday. So the outside is now pretty much done. We'll take up these form boards, which is what you see the stakes. We'll be taking those up as soon as the concrete sets up, and we'll be done outside. So let's go inside, see how things are going. So inside, we're also just about done. You can see the kitchen cabinets are all done. All the pulls are on the doors. We've got all the countertops set. We now have water in the house. So we've accomplished that. The electricians are finishing up on their work. And once that gets done, we'll get power to the house, and then we can finish our air conditioning work. So if you want to come in here, we'll kind of show you. We've got our master closet all done. All of our shelving is in place. The bathroom is all done. We just have to do final cleanup on it. And as we go through the living room, we have our short hallway with our bathroom being all done and our both bedrooms in that. So we're just doing final touch up on paint. Then we'll do final cleanup of all the mats and that, the floor protection that we have, and we'll clean it up. So we probably still have another week to get things done. And then, like I said, outside we're pretty much done. So we've got a mailbox to put in and a couple of little things as we finish our punch list. So we're just about done. That'll wrap up our how to build a habitat home. But I'll look forward to seeing you all back here next week. So we'll see you then. Thanks. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. It's another week has gone by and our work has continued here on finishing the house. It's week 29. As I told you before, normally we build on a 26-week cycle, but we're now in the 29th week and things are still moving along. Driveway is all finished now. We've got our cones off. We're able to use it. All the yard is complete. We're continuing to water the grass and our plants. So the outside is pretty much done. So let's go inside where we continue to get our painting done. So our paint work continues inside. That'll probably take through today and probably Thursday, and at that point we'll probably be pretty much done with the house. Doors, trim, everything's getting final touch-up. Cabinetry is done. We've got one countertop that we're having to have remade, so we're waiting on it. But everything's moving along fine. As I said, we'll probably finish our paint work on Thursday. We'll clean everything up. We'll take the mats up off the floor and be pretty much done. Outside, we're continuing to do some work. We're painting our mailbox post, getting it in its final coat. And so we'll be able to put that in on Thursday to get our mailbox up. But today we're working on putting up hurricane track. And that involves putting a channel, which is called an F channel, below the window. An H channel, because it looks like a small H, above. And that's where our storm shutters go. They insert up and get bolted in this track. I like using storm shutters. Impact resistant glass is very expensive, and the concern is that impact resistant glass will still break, and if something flies and breaks that glass, it's very expensive to replace. And so for our homeowners, I feel that it's much better to use a shutter. And when you put a shutter up, and it's a steel shutter with a center panel of clear Lexan, so that you still get some light in. If something goes flying, it hits that shutter. If it hits hard enough, it's just going to dent that shutter, but it's not going to break the window behind. And so I feel that the save your money on the impact resistant glass and use a shutter system, which actually ends up being more affordable. It lowers the cost of construction of the house using the shutter. Plus it gives you the security of feeling that you have some protection on your house. And it also very nice that during high wind of a hurricane, you could still open your window and get some cool air in if you were to lose your power, because your window opening is protected by the panels, and you just get a little bit of a breeze that comes in behind it. So I think there's a lot of advantages. There's a couple disadvantages, but I think the advantages outweigh it, and I like using storm shutters on the homes. So that's it for today. Next week we'll just pronounce it finished pretty much. So look forward to seeing you then. Come back and we'll have our celebration of a completed house for another Habitat family. Thanks. Well, welcome back to Palmetto. It's another Tuesday morning. It's been about 30 weeks that we've been building on the home. I told you that it was going to be 26. We stretched it out a little bit due to some of the problems with getting materials and keeping our suppliers busy. So anyway, 30 weeks is not bad. We're getting ready for our homeowner. We pretty well have our house done. As you can see, we have street numbers now. We have our flag up, and we'll take you inside and show you how it turned out. Come on in. So inside the house, we've got everything finished. We hold the appliances until we actually get ready to close, a day or two before closing. We'll set the appliances. That's just from a safety feature that they stay in place. But you can see the living room is all done. I I love this floor plan with the center living room and kitchen, long bar that we have, and that's great. Kids can do homework while talking to mom who's doing supper and that. It's also a great way for entertaining within the home. So I just really love this floor plan. And as we come further into the kitchen, we have a dining room area. We've got these double French doors that are fantastic. The airflow through the center of the house is really great. Gives us that passive cooling when the weather is nice. And we have our utility room that we have here at the end of the kitchen. We have a large 6-foot shelf pantry closet. That's plenty of room for appliances and food stock. Our washer and dryer goes in here. We have a floor drain, and in case there's ever any leakage from the washer, we have a floor drain. That floor drain, actually the sink drains through this floor drain to keep that trap underneath, always full of water. Oftentimes when you put floor drains in, they forget that they go dry, and then you can get a smell in your house from the sewer lines. But by running water and keeping that trap wet all the time, we've prevented that. This room is also rated for a fortified room for hurricanes. We hurricane strap all of the walls in the house. We put a false ceiling on it. If we were by chance to lose the roof, there's a ceiling that remains over this room. So it's actually a secure, safe room for the family, in addition to the entire house being as safe as it is. So we'll go over here to the 2 bedrooms, and we have a nice sized bedroom up front. Has a walk-in closet, really makes it nice for the family. All of our rooms have fans. The 3rd bedroom also has a walk-in closet that allows plenty of room for storage as well as the clothing, and it's still a nice sized room. And then these 2 rooms have their own bathroom, or the guest bathroom for the home. One thing I would like to point out is that part of the universal design is that you'll see that you have the sink here, which is water. You have the toilet here, which is water. And then normally, making this a wet wall, you would have your faucet sets for the bathroom. That's the way most homes are built, so that that's all a wet wall. But by golly, it's not there. It's over here. And it's off center. I can come in here, I can stand up, I can turn this water valve on without even having to bend over. And I certainly don't have to stretch over, which makes it really difficult for some people to get to. So by putting the fixtures here for the shower, it really makes it much easier and allows people to live in place. We build homes, a lot of our families are younger and they have young kids. But most of our homeowners stay in their homes. About 95% of our homeowners still live in the home that we built for them, and that's been over a 22-year period. So it's really nice to have these features so that as we age and get older, we can still live in our homes. The other thing that I'll mention along the lines of universal design is that we put peepholes in. Normally you just have 1 peephole. We put 2 in. We put 1 down low so that a child can also look at the door. Normally when the doorbell goes off, who gets to the door first? But the kids. And they can look out, and Mom can say, "Who do you see?" And they say, "Grandma." Well, let them in. Or they can say, "Don't know who it is," and Mom can say, "Well, don't open the door." So it just makes it a lot easier and safer for our families to have those double peepholes. And then we get to the master bedroom. Master bedroom has 2 windows so that you get cross flow of air. Again, it has a large walk-in closet that makes it really nice. And it has a nice sized bathroom that has a linen closet, has drawers on the vanity, and then it has a nice size step-in shower. In this case, we leave the faucet handles for the shower in that location because it's easy to step in the shower, it's easy to get to, and it's also on an interior wall as opposed to being on the outside where we have those foam blocks that we built with, the ICF blocks. By utilizing interior walls for electrical and plumbing as much as possible, it keeps the energy efficiency of the outside walls, because anytime you reduce some of the insulation by taking it out in order to run wire or run plumbing, you lose a slight amount of your R value, your insulation value. And even though we go back, once it's installed, we go back and foam those channels again, you still have slightly less insulation value. So we like utilizing inside walls. As you can see right here, we have our outlet very close to the outside wall. The code is 12 feet, 6 feet either way, so that you can plug something in. And by utilizing a smaller room, less than 12, we can put outlets right at the corners and not have to penetrate the outside wall. So that's about it. We've got a great house. Like I've said before, this is one of my favorite plans. I love the split floor plan. I love the openness of the center of the house. And it lives really well. Our homeowners who have purchased these models have really enjoyed living in them. So I'm glad you could be with us over the last 30 weeks. I've had a great time talking with you, showing you what Habitat does to make these homes affordable for our families, but energy efficient, sustainable, safe, live in place, the universal design features of it, and the fortified home designs that we put into it. So all of that is done to keep our families safe and give them a affordable home to raise their families in. So thank you. You can always come out and volunteer. We always need funding to be able to build more homes. And don't forget our restore. You can make purchases or donations there. So really appreciate all the time you spent watching, and thank you very much.